Batman is my favorite superhero, so today we're going to rank all 12 Batman movies from the worst to the best in under 10 minutes. Now, I know there's more than 12 Batman movies if you count all of the animated movies that have ever been created, but I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, so I limited it just to movies starring Batman that received a wide theatrical release. With that said, down in the comment section, go ahead and tell me your ranking of all of the Batman movies that you've seen. Throw in the animated ones if you want to. Also know I did a longer version of this video back before Justice League came out with my extended thoughts. You can see that right up above here, and also stick around to the end of this video where I'm going to share some of you guys' thoughts on the Batman movies. With that said, let's get started. Coming in 12th place is Batman and Robin. What's left to say about this disaster? The bizarre mix of a juvenile sense of humor with close-up shots of bat nipples and bat butts makes you just wonder who was the target audience for this movie. The performances are atrocious or over the top or wooden. None of them are the right mix. The weirdest thing about this movie is that I think that Joel Schumacher actually made the movie he was trying to make. He just didn't make a movie that any of us actually wanted. Coming in 11th place is Batman 66. Now, I fully enjoy Adam West's take on Batman. I have a lot of fun with this movie, and I watch it with my kids from time to time. And of course, I enjoy the shark bat repellent and several other sequences in the movie. However, as a movie, it feels an awful lot like just an extended episode of the TV show with a couple of actors swapped out. And for that reason, I can't really rank it a whole lot higher because as a movie, it's not a great film. Though it is a lot of fun. Coming in 10th place is Batman Forever. Now, I loved this movie when it first came out. I saw it multiple times in the theater. I had the book and everything, but it hasn't really aged all that well. First off, it was followed by Batman and Robin. That kind of highlighted the problems with this film with Joel Schumacher's flamboyant style. Second, Jim Carrey as the Riddler feels so 1995. It seems so dated watching it now. And just in general, there's some story flaws that I didn't notice when I was a kid, but there's a lot of fun to be had. There's some good action sequences, and it's an enjoyable time. Coming in 9th place is Justice League. Now, I know a lot of people saw this as a step in the right direction for the DCEU, but for me, all I saw were the studio notes, the reshoots, the color correction. All of it felt like a movie directed by committee. Even Ben Affleck's Batman felt like all the edge was kind of like smoothed off, and the end result was a movie that's very watchable. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out, but it felt bland and dull to me, and so it left me very disappointed at the end. Coming in at number 8 is Batman Returns. Now, this one has a special place in my heart because I saw it when I was like 10 years old as a little kid. I had all the toys. I even had all the McDonald's toys and collectibles cups for it. But it's one of those movies that the older I get, the more it feels a little bit more like a Tim Burton superhero movie than a Batman movie. It's a little bit too weird, creepy, gothic in Tim Burton ways rather than Batman ways. And it gets so dark and creepy in that third act that it's just not one that I like to rewatch as much as almost any other film on this list. Coming in at number 7 is Batman v Superman. Now, this movie definitely has story problems, and I am not a fan of Batman mowing guys down with machine guns. But there's a lot in this movie that I thoroughly enjoy, and I respect the ambitions of this film. You gotta talk about the warehouse sequence that probably is the best Batman throwdown that we've ever seen. The beginning sequence where Bruce Wayne runs into Metropolis is incredible. I love the dialogue between Bruce and Alfred. Overall, this is a movie that every single time I rewatch it, I think I enjoy it a little bit more. Coming in at number 6 is going to be the Lego Batman movie. Now, this is one of those ones where when they first announced it, I was like, how are they going to take a small character from the Lego movie and turn that into a full movie? And then I was totally wrong. It's an absolute blast. Now, it has all the Lego insanity and Voldemort showing up. But beyond that, it also tells a poignant story about Bruce Wayne. It actually explores his character in a way that you can't really do while telling The Dark Knight. But it can explore him while poking fun at the idiosyncrasies of his character, why he pushes people away, why he is the way he is, and it makes for a very good Batman movie while being true to the Lego franchise. Coming in at number 5 is The Dark Knight Rises. Now, this is a movie where I feel the word epic is actually appropriate. Christopher Nolan's ambition with the scope of this story is pretty tremendous. Now, the execution of that ambition, I don't think quite lives up to it. There are some story problems breakdowns here and there, but there's a gigantic story, interesting and unique performances, and an emotionally satisfying conclusion to this amazing trilogy. In fourth place is Batman 1989. Now, this movie kind of defined my childhood. It was the first movie I remember seeing in the theater, so I might be a little bit biased, but I think it holds up really well as a comic book movie that feels like a comic book brought to life. Michael Keaton just does a phenomenal job playing this tortured soul in different personalities that you can believe would be this crazy guy that would dress up like a bat and beat up criminals. Jack Nicholson is this over-the-top Joker that steals every scene that he's in. Danny Elfman's score is just phenomenal. This is just a movie that's just exciting, it's fun, and I love it, and I've seen it about 10 billion times. Coming in third place is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Now, I'm one of the few people that actually saw this one in the theater when it first came out, and for my money, this is the truest version of the comic book character that's ever been put on the screen. And what makes this movie so special to me is that it both tells a new story about the Phantasm and this new villain, but it's also an origin story and a bit of a Batman Year One, and it does this through flashbacks, and it does this great exploration of Batman and how he became the Dark Knight. Overall, this is a movie that's aged incredibly well, and if you haven't seen it, you gotta go check it out. In second place is Batman Begins. Now, this is the definitive telling of Batman's origin story, and it fits perfectly with Christopher Nolan's nonlinear storytelling tactics. Also, this movie is wonderfully cast from top to bottom, except for maybe Katie Holmes there, right there in the middle. I'm a big fan of Christian Bale as both Bruce Wayne and as Batman. I don't even mind the Batman voice. The fights are brutal. Ra's al Ghul is the perfect villain to kick off this trilogy, and this movie actually competes for my number one spot very frequently. But coming in at number one is The Dark Knight. Now, what makes this movie so wonderful is that it's a movie perfectly crafted, where there's tension, themes established at the beginning of the movie that are explored in the middle and have big emotional payoff in the end of the film. You can just see the dominoes being set up all throughout, and then they get knocked over, and it's amazing ride. You got to talk about the amazing performances from Heath Ledger, as well as once again from Christian Bale. All in all, this is a movie that has emotional payoff, exciting action, and there's a reason that people absolutely love this movie. So there's my take on all of it. Go ahead and tell me your ranking down below. Also, remember, there is a longer version of this video up here, and here's what some of you guys had to say about these movies.
Batman, for me, is not the best Batman film, but it features the best Bruce Wayne.
Tim Burton's Batman, which is my favorite Batman movie after The Dark Knight, obviously. It's stylistic, it has a great score by Danny Elfman.
One of my favorite comic book movies of all time, and definitely deserves a 5-star.
Alright, so I just recently rewatched The Dark Knight, and it holds up to be the best Batman film, the best movie ever made.
But, like, this is a pretty good movie. This is the first Batman movie I saw.
Batman v Superman. I actually, I'm not on the hate train for this. I actually kind of enjoyed it.
This movie's way too long, and I think it's kind of get boring sometimes. But it's still a great movie, though, but...
It's just an all-around excellent film, not just as a superhero movie, but as a reboot in general.
If you want to know how you can appear in a future video, all you have to do is download the Stardust app at the link down below for your smartphone. It's totally free. Once you download it, follow my account first. My name's right there in that red bar. And then once you start shooting reactions and reviews to videos, it's super simple. You don't need any technology. You can just do it right off the cuff, right at the movie theater. Tag me, and if there's a little plus sign at the upper right hand corner, that means it shows up in my account so I can see your pretty face and possibly include you in a future video. And if you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button. I do movie reviews, TV reviews, ranking videos, but the key thing is I don't want to just talk about movies, I want to talk about movies with you. So join me down in the comment section. Let's have a lively discussion. We love Batman. We've got lots of opinions on it. Also, download that Stardust app so I can see your pretty face. And as always, thank you for watching.